Welcome, everybody. My name is Sarah. I'm from the Customer Success team at FreeConferencePro. My colleague Cara is also on the webinar today. She'll be helping answer people's questions via the chat. Hi, Cara. So you can pop your question on the right-hand side. There's a little menu, and you can click on the chat icon and pop in your question there if you have anything you'd like answered during the webinar. Also, this call is being recorded. We're recording the whole online meeting, the video and screen sharing, and that will be put onto YouTube later, where you can watch it back again if you need reminding of some information in that, and also for those who were unable to attend. You are all muted, so just to enable, so it's a presentation, like I said, you can pop your question in the chat. I think that's all of the introductions. Also, if you have any technical issues, please feel free also to pop your messages in the chat. So let me dive right in and get started. So FreeConferencePro has just had a major upgrade. So it's some really good news. We've got some great new features, but I know there's a lot of questions and then some adjustments, some things to get used to. So let me get started and share my screen, and we'll go to the support article here. So just pop it. Hope everybody can see that. Let me know if you can't. Pop a message in the chat. So this support article was shared with everybody. So maybe you've already had a bit of a look at it. There's a little video here which explains some of the changes to the service. And as you go down, you'll see there's some small updates, some changes to the way we call things, just to have it sync with all of our services. So access number is now called the dial-in number, the passcode is called the access code, and the host ID is the moderator PIN. Very simple, not a huge difference. One thing that's different, which I think is really good, because I know we had a lot of people contact us who had difficulty calling in as a host or moderator. So this has now become simpler. So before you had to enter your what was called your access number before, or your passcode before, and then your host ID, and it was a little more complicated. Now, all you do is you call your dial-in number, and then after the prompt, enter in your moderator PIN followed by the pound key, and that's it. So it's much simpler. And the other important change, when you're on the phone and you want to mute other callers, so if you want to change between those mute modes, it used to be *5, it's now *7. The other controls on the phone are the same. That's the only one that's different. And now, one important change for most of you on this webinar, you should be on a paid subscription. As you will have noticed, as of yesterday, your billing date has changed to the 1st of the month. So it used to be that when you signed up, let's say you signed up on the 13th, you'd always be charged on the 13th of the month. Now, what we've done is our very clever data analyst has worked out so that you've just been prorated the difference yesterday. So for some people, that was like a weird amount of $3.20 or even $1. And then on the 1st of July, you'll then be charged $9.99, and going forward, it'll always renew on the 1st of the month. So that's one important change for billing. That's probably not so important, but if you ever downgrade to a free subscription, or for those that have joined today who have a free subscription, it used to be the case that accounts would be closed after a certain period of inactivity. That no longer happens. We only close accounts now if you request to have your account closed. Now, this is also important. There's a new login link. You would have received that login link via email. If you did not, and you're not sure what it is, please contact customer support. I'll repeat that over and over again today, and I'll put that in the chat too. Maybe Cara can do that. support@freeconferencepro.com, or you can also open a ticket on our support site, support@ support.freeconferencepro.com. So the new login link, let me show you what that looks like. This is my little test account here. You can see there is this new, and you'll each have your own unique, what we call subdomain, just before freeconferencepro.com. So if I log out of here, you're going to see, here's my login page. So what I would highly recommend that everyone does is to save this link, this unique login link, to your bookmarks. So you just put the little star here. I have mine saved. That way I can never forget where I log in to FreeConference Pro, to my account. So, and then I just pop in my email and password. Now, your email and password would, yeah.
Sarah, one moment. The screen isn't, we can't see your screen. So maybe you just have to re-enable that.
Okay, apologies.
There we go. Yep, all good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that. So yeah, I was just saying, I don't know if you, I think that was probably you could understand that via hearing, to save it as in your bookmarks. Okay, so that's one important change. And then, as you'll see, obviously, the dashboard has been updated. So when you log into your account, it looks quite different. You do have most of the same features available and settings. It's just a new design, which might take some getting used to, but for most people, it is actually a better user experience, I think. So the other one that's different, and I know we had some questions about scheduling, so I will address that here. It used to be when you scheduled a meeting, it was really just sort of to organize for yourself in your account. Now, when you schedule a meeting, you can actually invite people, send out email invites, and they will also get automatic reminders. You can also set to automatically record for an individual meeting. You can also add things like, if I go to, I don't have that on this account. Let me go to this account over here. You will all have mostly a paid subscription, so I can then also add some security settings and a one-time code. So there's some other features there with scheduling. Now, previously, when scheduling, you'd be asked to, you would have to tell us how many participants you'd expect to connect. That is no longer required. So if you have 5 people or 500 people, it doesn't matter. There will always be enough space to allow for everyone to connect. So you don't need to let us know how many are going to join. That also means you don't have to schedule it at all. If you just want to set up a meeting, you don't want to use our system to send invites, maybe you put the call-in information in a Facebook post, then all you need to do is you can find it info up here, copy your conference information, your number and the code and the link if you wanted to share that as well, which I'll go into more detail in a moment. Or just hit copy details on the left. That copies everything, the code, the number, and the link. And then you can paste that into an email or a text message or wherever you want. So you don't have to schedule in the system. You don't have to tell us how many participants will be connecting. So yeah, the other one now is the conference manager. Now you used to log into your account and open the conference manager, and there you'd see all of the participants. Now we have something similar in the online meeting room. You can see my screen. When you open up here, participant list, you'll see everyone who's connected to your meeting on the right-hand side. Those who are connected via computer, you'll see a little like a computer screen. Anyone who's connected via phone, you'll see a telephone icon, and you'll see people's names and their phone numbers. Now you have the option here to, as before, you can put a name here. So I'm just going to put Joe here. Whoops, spelled it wrong. Sorry. and then hit save. And now you'll be able to associate that caller with, every time they call in with that phone number, you'll see their name. And that's added to your address book by default as well. So from here, you can see you've got the options to mute everyone or unmute everyone. You can quickly invite someone over here. You also have options to check your settings for your webcam and video, and you can find your conference details here as well. So if you've forgotten phone controls and you need to share that with someone, you need to give someone the dial-in number and access code, you have access to that here. You can mute and unmute callers individually. You can make someone else a moderator, which I'll address in a moment. You can block, block and disconnect the caller. You don't want them in your meeting. Or you can also pin someone. So that means that if you have a couple of people maybe sharing video, you can make sure their video is the one present in the main screen. Something else you have access to, which you didn't before, you can view all participants in what we call gallery view. So if you go here in the menu on the right and click gallery view, when I stop sharing my screen, you'll be able to see, each of you would have to do that themselves to see that gallery view. I'll stop sharing my screen for a second so you can all do that yourselves. So if you hit that gallery view icon, if you're on the computer, you're going to see everything in a grid. So you can see everyone all at once. And that allows you to have if people are connected via video, it's a really good way to see, your team in one place. If they're all connected via phone, it's still a useful way to have an overview in the center of your screen instead of the participant list. So you have that option. So let me share my screen again. Now, I know there were questions about people connecting as moderator. So the best way to do this, if you want multiple people managing the call from the computer, is to have just one person logged in, like myself, and the way that I did with Cara. She connects as a guest. She's not logged into the account. And then I hit the star icon next to her name to make her moderator. So now she can mute others. She won't get muted if I hit the mute all button. So she has those moderator privileges. She can't make someone else a moderator, only you can do that. So you still have other controls, but she can hit record. Like I said, she can mute others, and she can end the meeting as well. So that would be the best way to do that. If you have people calling in via phone, you can do the same thing. If you're on your computer, let's say I wanted Jane to be moderator, I just hit her icon and press moderator star, and she's now moderator as well. She can, from her phone, hit *9 to record. She would be unmuted if you hit, if you were in presentation mode. All of those things apply. That's really the best way to have multiple moderators, is to do that from the computer controls. If you have more than one person logged into your account and then online, and then they try to connect by computer, you're going to see that the first person will get logged out. So if you don't want that to happen, so really just have one person logged in online. You can have multiple people use the moderator pin. That's totally fine. Just be aware that everyone is going to show up. Like if me, it would show up with Sarah, a bunch of Sarahs in the meeting. For some people that doesn't matter, but for others who want to, maybe you have 5 or 6 people who are speakers in your meeting. The best way so that you make sure you can identify those different callers is to have them join, and then you make them moderator from the participant list here. I hope that's clear. Let me just check the chat. Okay, so we're good. Let me go to the next. So call recording. Yeah, how do you join the online meeting room? Let me go over that quickly. So when you are in your account, it's really simple to join. You just hit start and then click on internet, and that way you'll have access to your online meeting room. You can join the online meeting room from Chrome, from Safari browser, from Firefox. You can also connect from a mobile device. Again, it would be, and there's just some restrictions with the browser on an iPhone or an iPad. It has to be the Safari browser, or we have an app as well that you can download. You can find those download links here for the apps for Android and for iOS, for iPhones and iPads. So you have lots of options as to depending on what device you have. Note that older Android devices, this needs to be updated. They don't support video. Be aware of that. It should be from Android 6 and up will support video. And iOS, with the app, you only have video from iOS 13 and up. So you can have an audio meeting on your mobile device, but you just won't have video on your mobile device if it's a bit older. So just be aware of that. And then once you're in the meeting, you go back over here. As I've done, you can share your screen using this icon at the top. You can share anything that's on your desktop. You can share just one application window. Be aware, if you want to share PowerPoint, you should share your whole screen, because PowerPoint, when you start to present with PowerPoint, it actually opens up what's considered a second application, and then people won't see your presentation anymore. So we'll recommend sharing your whole screen when you're sharing a PowerPoint presentation. So rather than the individual application. And then to turn your video on, you just hit start video. Again, as long as you've got a webcam connected to your computer, that's very straightforward. And you also have a whiteboard tool as well. And in the online meeting room too, I should point out you've got this icon here where you can mute others very quickly. This is probably the most important tool you have, particularly if you get a lot of people in your meetings and you hear a disturbance or an echo or something like that. That is our mantra, mute all. When in doubt, mute all. If you're having trouble with audio, just mute all. You can allow, thank you, Cara, keep calm and mute all. I forgot, keep calm and mute all. You can allow people to unmute themselves. It doesn't mean that you need to like block everybody else from talking. It just means that to quickly, because that is the easiest way for you to have control. People have so many devices, so many different connections. There might be dogs in the background. Cara knows. There might be kids, especially now many of us are at home. So hit mute all. You can allow them to unmute themselves, and then they just, on their phone, they hit *6 to unmute themselves. And in the online meeting room, they would use the unmute icon here with the little microphone, and they'd be able to be heard again. So that's really the simplest way to resolve issues. And that's even if you're having just a phone conference. So that's a really good tool to have to hand. And if you're on your phone, a reminder again, it would be *7 to change the mute mode to mute everybody. So coming back here, call recording. So call recording is pretty straightforward. So you used to have to choose a name for your recording. Now that doesn't happen. It's just automatically assigned a name. You can find all of your recordings. So if you're here in your dashboard, you go to this menu on the right, hit recordings, and you'll find back all of your recordings. You'll see where there's a little camera. It means it's a video recording. Where there's just a play button, it's an audio only recording. you can now, this is the better, you can now go here. You have a play by phone option. So with that, you can share an access code and the dial-in number so people can listen back to the recording via phone. You can also just download it to your computer, put it on YouTube, put it on whatever sharing site you want, or you can copy the link and share that public link with people to hear the recording or to download it themselves as well. So to start recording, when you're in your online meeting room here, and I don't want to stop this now, so it's just the red button at the top. And to start from your phone, just make sure you call in with your moderator pin, and then it's *9 to start recording. If you stop the recording at any point or pause it, it will just create a new recording file. So you might have multiple recordings on the same meeting. Just be aware of that. So yeah, the old recordings are not lost. They are still on the old, what we call the legacy site. So you can still log into that account if you go to FreeConferencePro.com. I would recommend downloading them within the next month or two, but they won't be transferred to the new system. So they are not lost. They are still on the old platform if you want to go and log in there and download them, but they won't be transferred to the new one. And the other great thing on the new platform is recordings do not expire anymore. So they're there as long as you need them. Only you can choose to delete them if you want to. And I just want to show you, you can also find your past calls and recordings here. So let me come back here. So you're in your dashboard, you hit past, and let's find a previous one here, hit view. And here you'll see that you can see all the participants that attended. You can see you've got your recording information here. You can hit play and watch that back. You actually have a public link where if you copy that, you can share this whole page. And they'll see it like this. They won't be able to log into your account, but they'll get this exact page. So you click copy link, paste it somewhere else. What it means is that they would get access to any documents you upload, like here is the PowerPoint document I shared. They'll be able to see any messages in the chat. They can see who attended, and they can access the recording. So that is another way. You can also just share your recording. There's a really hidden secret 3 dots up here where you can also download or copy the link, or if it was an audio only, you'd see the playback option. So that is where you can find your past meetings. You can also, if you'd like a detailed report with exact times when people joined and left, you can export a CSV here too and download that. So participant count. I know that people have been asking about that. Unfortunately, we don't have that available by the phone. So you can't hear, so participants can't hear when they call in how many are already on the meeting. They also can't hear, like the moderator cannot currently hear via phone how many are in the meeting as well. But you can online, as you can see here at the top corner, it shows me, I'll stop clicking because it makes it go away. In a moment, as the menus disappear, you'll see that it tells me that there are 9 people present in the meeting. And you can see also the participant list on the side. So you can see exactly how many people are in your conference. We hope to add the participant count feature at a later date, but it isn't a hugely popular feature, so it's not something we're working on right now. Let me just check the chat. Okay. The waiting room. So we used to have a setting on the legacy or the older free conference where the conference would start. You could choose if it starts when the second caller joins or when the host joins. So now we have a feature called the waiting room. You can find that if you go to the settings here by this cog, and on the left-hand side where you see waiting room. If this is turned on, it means that the call won't start until someone has connected either with the moderator pin or that they've joined online while logged into the account. While if the moderator hasn't yet joined, they're just going to hear hold music, and you can choose whether they hear the default music or, if you prefer, they can hear nothing, if that was your preference. So you can set both of those options. So if it's off, it means that the call will start the moment there's at least 2 people in the meeting. So you don't have to have a moderator connect if you don't want to. So that's essentially the same setting. It's just called the waiting room. Chimes and name announce. We are experiencing an issue right now with those. So if you have been having trouble with that, our apologies. We should have a fix for that today or tomorrow. So those are pretty much the same as previously. You can find those settings again in your account here under the waiting room. Yeah, I think I mentioned that with the recording before. You don't need to put in a special recording pin any longer. You just connect to the meeting via your phone using the moderator pin and then hit *9, or when you're on your account online, just hit the record button. So, yes. Sorry, I'm just reading through the chat. If you're having problems with the audio, yeah, I can send you we'll send everyone the recording in any case. So if you had any technical issues, you will get that for sure. Let me just pop on my video and stop sharing my screen. I have a couple of questions in front of me. So I answered that one. So using video effectively, I've got a spinner. Okay, great, I'm back. Yeah, so I would recommend getting yourself a decent headset. It doesn't have to be fancy. Like my colleague Cara, she has a cabled one. I think it was $30 or $40. So that is ideal, and it just helps you, particularly if you're at home like we are with our kids and other family members. You can just isolate and people can hear you clearly with that. Also prevents echo and other audio issues, particularly some laptops really don't have a good microphone setup, so a headset is the best solution there. Also webcams, I just using the one on my laptop. Just make sure you have decent light on you. I sit in front of my window here, so I get good light. Everybody can see me. So those are just some small tips when you're doing video conferencing. You don't have to have everyone connected via phone or via video. You can have a mix of both, as we have today. You don't have to go on your computer at all if you don't want to. You can just continue using it as you have been. Have everyone connect via phone, and to your access code moderator pin. You don't have to change the way you were doing it. So that is the same. Let me have a look here at the questions that I had written down. Yes, as there was a question, just enter the access code the same as you've been doing. So same steps. Call the number, enter the access code. There's nothing special that you need to do to continue using the same service. Recording, yeah. So anyone who's having trouble with the link and getting into your account, I would recommend reaching out to customer support. Yeah, sorry, I just see one question about the URL. Yeah, you would need to share with them your unique login link, or if you've scheduled it, the invitation they receive will also have that link in it. So it will give them instructions on how to connect for video conferencing. And it'll give them a little test as well to make sure that they are ready, so that they have the right equipment. So that's the connection test. I'll show you where to find that. But it's in the invite. It is, oh, I have to share my screen again. Go back. So yeah, the connection test, when you're here, menu at the right, connection test, and that will just, if you hit start, that just checks that your microphone's working, checks your internet connection is decent enough, checks your video, so it goes through everything so that you can make sure you're ready. So you can share that with callers to get them prepared. So yeah, you can share, let me share with you a PowerPoint. So there's, let me go open, it's as simple as hitting share your screen, as I showed before, and then you would open up your application, and I have it here. I have the PowerPoint document. I hope it doesn't take too long to open. And then you can just present that as you would. So I can go ahead and hit present, and then hopefully you can all see that and scroll through as you would. So just make sure you share your whole screen when you share a PowerPoint, and that's the best way to do that. One other question, some people have said their call summary report doesn't have the right time zone. All you need to do is get your login link to your account and log in, and it will automatically update the time zone. You can check the time zone of your account here in the settings, and if you go to time zone, it will tell you mine is Eastern time. So you really just need to log into your account. And if you have, again, if you need help finding that login link, just contact customer support. We have a really good support site now for the new platform. I will share that here in the chat. If you need to contact customer support, you can do that here. Where are we? Over here. And just hit submit new ticket. And we will be able to help you out. Our promise is to get back to you within 24 hours. So if you contact us that way, it's not going to take a week. And even though our promise is 24 hours, most of the time we'll get back to you much quicker than that. So even within the hour. So that would be the best way to reach out to us for specific issues. So I believe I have covered, oh, I want to touch on one more thing because I think that was another question, accessing the admin portal. So what's called, or the admin console. If you don't see this, so if you click the menu here on the right and you don't see admin console, it means you're not an admin. And if you think you should be, contact customer support, as I said before. If you know someone else is, contact them to access the admin console. They can make you an admin if that needs to happen. If you click here, it will open up. You can see, whoops, wrong place. Let me go here. Go over here. It's better here, admin console. So if you go here, you're going to see your company name and your company link. You can change that if you want to. Be aware if you change this link that it changes for all of your scheduled conferences. So be careful and really consider when you need to change that because it will update everywhere. You can see your billing information here. You can see the subscription you're on, how many hosts you have, your payment details, and you can look at past invoices. You can go here and add another host account if you want to, or edit a host. If you want to do that, make someone else an admin if you need to, and you can, well, if you have access to that, update your design as well. So that is how you access your admin portal. And to get back to your regular dashboard, just go here and hit go to dashboard. I was sharing my screen. If someone didn't see that, it should be on the recording, and I will share that with everybody when we're done. So I think I've covered most things. If you do have more questions beyond what I've covered here in this meeting, contact customer support, please. And I will share a copy of this video, a link to the YouTube, where it is on YouTube via email with everybody. And yes, I think that's it. Thank you so much for everybody for taking the time to attend this meeting. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you again. Take care.